Good day to each and every one of you. Now, I will be discussing another topic, which is the geographical literacy, attitudes, and experiences of students. But before that, allow me to read our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students will be able to understand geographical concepts and locations, identify how geography affects daily life, develop positive attitudes towards the environment, apply geographical knowledge to real life situations. Now, let us proceed to our discussion proper. So, what is geographical literacy? Geographical literacy involves obtaining geographic knowledge, geographic skills, and geographic perspectives, meaning that para naa kay geographic literacy or para mahimo kang geographical literate, kailangan nimo ma-obtain ang kaning tulo ka buok, which is the geographical knowledge, geographic skills, and geographic perspectives. But what are these three? First is the geographical knowledge. Now, geographical knowledge revolves around concepts and ideas in physical and human geography according to Otati 2015. Pasabot, mauna imong kaalam sa concepts and ideas in physical and human geography. So when we say physical geography, mauna siya ang study sa Earth's natural systems like landforms, climate, and water. While ang human geography, mauna siya ang study sa relationship between humans and their environment. Apil na ang cultures, economies, and settlements. Now, the second one is geographic skills. So it is based on critical thinking skills that make students actively engage in doing geography according to OTATI 2015. So, it means nga mao ni siya ang skills nga naga-involve o critical thinking skills nga mamahimo ta nga actively engage when it comes to geography. Dili lang kay puro memorization, ing ana dapat naapud sa atoa ang skills nga naapud tay critical thinking skills, the ability to find more answers to the questions rather. Lastly, the geographic perspectives. So it includes spatial and ecological perspectives that students can use as framework in interactions according to OTATI 2015. So when we say spatial perspective, it is a way of thinking about how and why things are located in geographic space and how they are related to one another. So it is ang atong pagtan-aw sa usa ka place nga kung aha ni siya naglocate and unsay relate niyan sa uban nga place. And when we say ecological perspective, it is a way of understanding individuals and their behavior by focusing on their interactions with all parts of their environment, from their immediate family to their broader culture. So it is not all about places, geographical sites, mga location, but it is also behaviors nga nag-focus sa interactions between people and their culture, nga mag-connect siya sa environment, ganun, and to their immediate family and broader culture. So through that two perspective, pwede na magamit sa isa ka student para maghimo of framework in interactions, because having geographic perspectives is not all about geographical sites, mga location, mga maps. As I said, it also includes interaction, human behaviors, and cultures. So, for you to be a geographic literate or to have geographical literacy is kailangan nimo ma-obtain na ang tulo. which is the geographical knowledge, geographic skills, and geographic perspectives. So, pag naana sa imo ng tulo, do you think nga geographical literate na mo? Nga na naman geographical literacy as a student? Well, ang answer ana is maybe or not yet. It is because kay dili pa man jud nato na siya matun-an immediately. Mo undergo pa na siya og process, and also learning geography is quite hard man jud sa ato, di ba? So, para mas ma-love nato ang geography subject is kailangan nato siya i-embrace and also to be critical thinkers. So, maara to, let us proceed now to another slide.
So students have positive attitudes toward geography, even if their understanding of this subject is limited, as the way they were taught led to memorization of facts and not how to apply geographic concepts in their daily lives. So students generally like geography, but their actual grasp of the subject is limited because the teaching methods focus on memorizing facts rather than applying geographic ideas to real life situations. And students found that learning activities that employ software applications like Google Earth and Google Maps help them in understanding their lessons in geography better as these tools are useful in their daily lives. So tools like Google Earth and Google Maps make learning geography lessons more relatable and easier to understand since students can connect to what they learn to places and experiences in their daily lives. It was thought that students who have low level of literacy are the ones who have negative attitudes toward the subject like geography. However, Otari 2015 contends that students who struggle in understanding geographic concepts are also interested to learn about geography. They believe that learning geography is important in their daily lives. Teachers should integrate geographic perspectives in their lessons and incorporate learning activities that aim develop their geographic skills. So, while it is often assumed that students with low literacy dislike geography, but Otati 2015 argues that even those who find geographic concepts challenging still value the subject and want to learn from it because they see its relevance to their everyday lives. So to support these students, teachers should embed geographic thinking into lessons and use activities that build practical geographic skills. Otati 2015 argues that having mandatory standalone course will help students to be geographically literate by being knowledgeable about concepts and ideas in geography. This will also provide them with learning opportunities where they can develop geographic skills and acquire geographic perspective. So, Otati argues that a required standalone geography course helps students become geographically literate. So, by deepening their understanding of concepts and giving them chances to build practical geographic skills and perspectives. So, teacher education institutions or TEIs must enrich their pre-service teacher education curriculum by offering a mandatory standalone course in geography. Through this, future elementary and secondary teachers will be geographically literate and prepared to teach geographic concepts in their lessons to allow students to develop geographic skills and obtain geographic perspective. So, um, teacher education institutions should include this course in their curriculum so that future educators are well equipped to teach geography effectively and helping their students gain geographic knowledge and skills. So now let's move to geographic knowledge and teaching geography. So according to Brooks 2006, geographic knowledge is an important factor that influences the quality of geography education. So having a methods course in geography will be helpful in bridging the gap between pre-service social studies teachers, geographical knowledge, and their approaches of teaching geography. So, a dedicated methods course in geography helps future social studies teachers to connect their content knowledge with effective teaching strategies, and it makes geography instruction more meaningful. Teacher education institution or TEIs should conduct extension programs like training and workshops for in-service social studies teachers toward upgrading the pedagogical content knowledge or PCK of teachers in teaching geography. Teachers should also understand how what they are teaching is based on their geographical knowledge. So training and workshops can really enhance the current teacher's pedagogical content knowledge, and it ensures they understand how their geographic knowledge shapes and how they teach geography.
Good day! So now, let us proceed to challenges to powerful geography instructions. So in 2011, Mackle mentioned that one of the biggest challenges in teaching geography effectively is the problem with textbooks and teaching methods. So it is because most of the textbooks used today still present geography as a list of facts. For example, countries and their capitals. So instead of encouraging exploration and analysis. Also, the way it's taught sometimes relies too much on lectures and drills instead of activities that make students think deeper. So, if we want geography to be more powerful and engaging, teachers should use methods that make students in question, explore, and connect geography to what's happening in the world today. Now, moving on to the next slide. So, this one talks about how geography is usually taught. So, according to multiple authors, geography in elementary schools often focus too much on memorizing locations and reciting places on maps. So in 2011, Mackle explained that because of this, students don't really get a chance to develop their critical thinking skills or go beyond just memorization. So instead of just remembering where things are, students should be encouraged to think why things are where they are and how geography affects people's lives. That's what makes geography more meaningful. When we start connecting what's on the map to real world issues. So let us proceed to the next topic. So preparing for active citizenship by questioning maps. So in this slide, the main idea is that social studies helps prepare us to become active and responsible citizens. So according to the National Council for Social Studies, the overall goal of social studies is to help students make informed and reasoned decisions for the public good. Though that's according to Mackle 2011. So in simpler terms, it means that we don't just learn facts. We learn how to think, question, and decide what's best for our community. So when we question maps, we're not just looking at countries or locations. We're also learning to ask why maps are made that way and what message or perspectives that might show. That's how social studies helps us become more thoughtful and active citizens.
So the next one is si Lester claims. So ingon niya is dapat daw kanang ginatudluan jud ang mga estudyante nga critical sila maghuna-huna. So, dapat is, kanang ingon niya is dapat lang daw, dili lang kay kanang gina-memorize kung unsa man ang kanang about sa ana nga lugar, kundi dapat daw kanang masabtan nimo or kanang maintindihan nimo kung unsa man ang kanang mga pangyayari sa isa ka lugar. So, mao na siya ang kanang claims ni Lester. So, take note nga dili lang daw kailangan nga kanang i-memorize kundi mismo nga ikaw masabtan nimo kung unsa man ang kanang dahilan or ang kanang epekto sa kanang pangyayari sa isa ka lugar. So now let's let's talk about the recommendation of the powerful geography instruction. So first is si MC Call. MC Call in 2011. So, nag-state siya na mas effective daw na matuto ang bawat estudyante kapag gumagawa sila ng mapa ng mga lugar na kanang mismo sila is kanang kabalo na kung unsa na siya nga lugar, and then kanang kabalo na pud sila or kanang naadtuan na nila. Like for example, nga kanang kabalo ta sa mga lugar. So in this generation is we all know nga kanang ang mga estudyante is kanang mas kuan na sila sa kanang K-pop, no? So mga Korean. So wa pag ani sila ning adto, pero kanang kabalo na sila kung unsa man ang kanang mga tradition dito, kung unsa man ang mga istoryahan dito. So kabalo na sila because kanang gina-admire nila mismo sa ilang kaugalingon nga kanang gusto sila ana nga lugar. So for example po is kanang mga naadtuan na nila nga lugar. So pag once man gud mga moadto ka sa ana nga isa ka lugar is na mag-research ka kung unsa man ang kanang mga tradition nila, kung unsa man ay lang the way of living. So through that is kanang mas effective nga kanang makatuon ng isa ka estudyante. So next is kang Brophy, Aliman, Douglas o kang Seafeld. So according to them is before daw nga tudluan ang mga estudyante nga magbasa og mapa, kailangan daw is makabalo sa sila kung unsaon paghimo sa mapa. So according to them, dili buditso nga tudluan kung unsaon pagbasa. Dapat daw mas makabalo sa sila una kung unsaon paghimo sa mapa. Dapat po daw is kanang naay mga instrument according sa ilaha. Like for example, ang mismo nga kanang mapa, for example lang sa kanang sa Philippines or sa kanang barangay lang nga mapa na may mga ano. So sa tabang nga ana, mas mapadali nga kanang maka-learn daw ang mga estudyante before nila ang tuluan nga magbasa or unsaon pagbasa sa mapa. So, the next one is kang Seagull. So, according po kang Seagull is kanang mas maganda daw if ang mga estudyante is mag-build to kanang small groups para kanang pura siya kanang mahimo nga group study about anang mapa, no? So through groupings or mga small groups is kanang sabay nila nga kanang i-learn kung unsa man ang nasa mapa. Makuan man god kung magrupo-grupo man pud god is kanang maka-share og ideas kung unsa ang ilang mga nakuan, unsa ilang mga nasabtan sa mapa. So sa pamamagitan daw ana is kanang mas gwapo daw o mas maka-learn ang mga estudyante. And then mas okay po daw nga kung tahay for example we have at 3 groups. So sa 3 groups is kanang mas okay po daw nga kanang gina-compare nila kung unsa man ang mapa diri, mapa dito, mapa ana. So through that is kanang mas makagather po sila information, knowledge all about sa mga mapa nga ilahang gitun-an. So sa pamamagitan sa mga ana is mas mapadali daw nga maka-learn ta sa mga mapa. So that's the recommendation of the powerful geography instruction ayon kay MC Call and then kang Brophy, Aliman, Douglas and Seafeld, and then the lastly is kang Seagull.
So next we have the preparing pre-service teachers for powerful geography instruction. So first we have the pre-service teachers can appreciate geography instruction by creating own maps. In this way, they can compare map types and identify map distortion. So, this is according to McCall 2011. So, ang ato ang mga pre-service teachers kay mas ma-appreciate nila ang geography instruction kanang kung magbuhat sila og ilahang maps kay in that way ma-compare nila ang different types of maps tapos mas ma-identify nila ang map distortions. So next we have using multiple maps fosters critical thinking for students because of different interpretations and analysis of map strengths and weaknesses. This is also according to McCall 2011. So, ang paggamit sa mga different or daghang maps is makatabang siya aron maka-foster ta og critical thinking para sa ato ang mga students kay because this is due to different interpretations and analysis. So, therefore, makatabang jud siya kung magamit ta different maps na kanang in order nga mas ma-enhance ang critical thinking sa atong mga estudyante because of the different interpretations and analysis sa mga map, their strength, and also the weaknesses. And lastly, social studies teachers should include using maps during discussions to support student inquiry and critical thinking. So, mao to siya. Ang mga teachers sa social studies is much better jud na mag-use of map during sa ilang discussions or sa ilahang lessons para masuportaran nila ang mga pangutana or mga inquiries atong mga estudyante and also to help in enhancing their critical thinking. Now let's proceed to the teaching controversial issues in geography. So we actually have the perspectives of geography teachers according to Ho and Seo 2015. So there are actually three main purposes in teaching climate change. So first we have the promoting environmental values. So the values-based teaching approach. So i-promote na to ang mga environmental values. The second one is the developing critical thinking or inquiry approach. And the third one is the supporting government climate policies or the pro-climate change stance. And then let's move on to the variations in approaches. So we actually have two. The first one is the inconsistencies among teachers are due to different beliefs and educational policies. So, kani nga approach no sa isa ka teacher is this is actually part sa ato ang reality that some of teachers is inconsistent jud sila when it comes sa pagtudlo sa isa ka topic ba or lesson. This is because of the different beliefs and educational policies. So, lahi-lahi ta og beliefs and also naatay mga different policies nga ginasunod when it comes to education. Second one, the other approach is some teachers emphasize values formation while others prioritize critical thinking. So, mo to siya, some teachers no is mas gina-emphasize nila or mas ginahatagan nila o focus ang values formation kanang mga impormasyon no, while the other teachers no kay ang ilang gina-prioritize is critical thinking. Ang uban is just kanang ma-inform no to give importance no sa mga information while the others is ginahatagan pud nila importansya ang critical thinking.
So now let's proceed on the Singapore case study. So elite schools in Singapore, this refers to those schools bitaw nga known for their high standards. Ang kanang elite schools mo na they are known for their high standards. Ang kanang mga grabe ka selective in terms of admissions, may ana nga schools. So they focus on critical thinking and leadership roles for students. Meaning, ang ilahang gina-focusan is to improve the students' critical thinking for them to be able nga makagain og effective critical thinking skills, and also they also focus on leadership roles for students, since kaning magong mga elite schools kay kanang naa sila reputation on preparing students for future powerful positions. So now other schools, katuning mga schools nga dili kayo high ang standards or dili jud high ang standards. So they emphasize environmental values and support for climate change policies. So ang ila pong gina-focusan is emphasizing environmental values jud for us or for their students to be able to really know, or for them to be able to be more literate in terms of knowing environmental values, and they also focus on supporting climate change policies. Ilang gina-focusan is kanang mga butang maka-support para ma-lessen ang atong contribution sa climate change, since di ba na atay mga climate change policies. So ang ilaha is ilang gina-focusan nga masunod to nga mga policies. So now, let's proceed on the impact of policies in Singapore. Mo na katong mga effects bitaw sa ilang policies dito sa Singapore. So national programs and curriculum encourage both values development and critical thinking. So ang ilaha daw mga national programs dito o mga curriculum sa Singapore is kanang goal nila dito is kanang ginahikayat nila bitaw nga ma-develop ang mga values sa mga tao and their critical thinking para mas literate sila. So this creates different emphasis depending on the type of school and academic track. So magdepende Japon sa type of school o academic track nga gitake sa student ang ilang ma-develop nga mga values. So, role of geography teachers, they are responsible for imparting knowledge, skills, and values about climate change. Meaning, kato daw mga teachers nga naga-teach og geography, it is their responsibility to inform or share knowledge, skills, kanang kaalaman o mga values nga related sa climate change. So na ay roles ang mga geography teachers. So their role is to help students first gain a deeper understanding of climate change. Diba mag-share or responsibility nila nga mag-share og knowledge about climate change para ang mga students is mas masabtan nila kung unsa ang mga aspects kay daghang bayag aspects sa climate change. Next is form their own perspective based on knowledge, skills, and values. So matabangan nila ang mga students para maka-come up og own nila nga kanang perspective towards climate change ng ana based on kanang ilahang mga na-learn nga values, mga skills. Last is they prepare as responsible citizens capable of critical thinking. So role pod sa mga geography teachers nga i-prepare or tabangan ang mga students to prepare for them to be able to become responsible citizens na capable or kabalo sila mugamit og or mo perform og critical thinking, for them to be able to comprehend things. So now let's tackle on the geography education in Singapore. So geography education in Singapore, its focus is developing geographical knowledge, skills, and values. So from the term pala nga geography education, may na to nga kanisha is nag-talk about geographical things. And its goal is to prepare students to become environmentally literate and responsible citizens. Diba na-mention ako earlier nga na ay mga environmental values. So ang goal aning geography education is for them to encourage or for them to help students or tanan tao nga mas ma-comprehend ang mga environmental values. So their approach is they encourage critical thinking and awareness of global and environmental issues. Meaning, ang approach nila in teaching geography education sa Singapore is ilang ginahikayat bitaw nga about sa critical thinking para ang mga tao is they will be able to comprehend dayon or ma-aware dayon bitaw sila about sa mga global and environmental issues para ila ring masabtan o ma-identify if it is an issue that is related to the environment and if it is an issue globally. And that concludes my part. Thank you.
And now let's move on to the differences in academic tracks. So in here, we actually have two, which is the elite schools and also the neighborhood schools. So first, let's focus on the elite schools. So for the elite schools, it emphasizes the academic excellence, leadership, and critical analysis of issues. So in a simple explanation, ang elite schools is nag-aim sila to make student excellent in studies and then become leaders and think deeply about big issues. So an example for this is a student at an elite school may write essays on climate change and suggest solutions. Sa example ato, ang mga estudyante diri sa elite schools kay pabuhat sila og mga essays, no? Mga essays nila or kaya pwede po mga reflections nila about sa mga ato ang social issues, no? And then maghatag sila sa ilang mga solutions for that particular social problem. So ingana ang elite school, naga-focus sila sa academic excellence, leadership, and critical analysis about our social issues. And then next we have the neighborhood schools. So for the neighborhood schools, it focuses on environmental responsibility, loyalty, and respect. So in a simple explanation, ang neighborhood schools kay ga-focus sila sa pagtudlo sa itong mga estudyante on how to take care of our environment and be loyal to it and unsaon paghatag og respeto sa uban. So inana siya. An example for this pod, no, kanina kasanayan nato, no, traditional way kay students may do activities like planting trees or helping clean their community. So pasabot diri sa neighborhood schools is ang mga estudyante or ang mga tao ba diri no, kay gakandak sila sa atong naandan which is ang community service. It could be tree planting, and then bigay puso or the donation drive, ingon ana, tapos pulot basura. So in ana ang neighborhood schools. And then for the challenge, no, ensuring equal learning opportunities for all students despite academic track differences. So ang challenge ani dili mahatagan og same treatment, no, ang elite school at the same time ang neighborhood school. In what way ba? For the simple explanation ani is, ang main difficulty ani is kanang hatagan ang mga estudyante og same chance to learn, kanang maayo nga learning, no, even though their schools teach in different ways. Example for this, no, a student in a neighbor school may not get the same advanced lesson as one in an elite school, which can be unfair. So in reality, unfair jud siya kay nga ay mga elite school, no, around the world, even here in the Philippines, no, nga mas advanced jud ang ilahang learning kumpara sa mga taga neighborhood school. Kay nga, no, ang elite school na to ga-practice sila nga kanang advance in where nga kanang ga-focus sila sa academic excellence and then sa leadership and then katong critical analysis nga ginapabot sila mga projects and assignments in where ga-focus sila sa ato ang mga social problems, tapos nagahatag po sila sa ilang mga ideas para sa mga possible solutions ana. While on the other hand, the neighborhood schools is kanang ga-focus sila on how to take care of our environment nga pwede man unta pod, no, nga ang atong mga neighborhood schools is dili lang sila mag-focus sa kanang unsay naandan, which is katong mutabang lang sa community nga in that way. Kay daghan pa jud possible solutions nga makatabang jud unsaon nato pag cope up sa ato ang mga social problems. So ana siya naagyapoy unfair na treatment between the elite schools and neighborhood schools kay kung ingnon pa nato ang elite schools is daghan kasi resources actually tapos very advanced unlike sa neighborhood schools kay napagapoy mga lackings na sila mga kanang kulang no kulang sila sa resources tapos dili sila matagan og kanang treatment pod nga kung unsa tong na experience sa atong mga elite students or I mean students sa mga elite schools. And ana na siya, that's the challenge which is katong dili fair nga paghatag og treatment when it comes to the learning of our students in elite school and also in neighborhood school. So that's the challenge. So next, let's proceed to the role of teachers in geography instruction. So we actually have 3, which is the curriculum design, the integration, and also the resources. So first, we have the curriculum design. So here in curriculum design, adopts lessons to student diversity and promote inclusivity. So in a simple explanation, on curriculum design, the teachers must plan lessons that is suitable for our students which actually has different backgrounds and make everyone feel included. Ang teachers, mangita sila og paagi or magbuhat sila lessons nila nga ang mga estudyante ma-feel nila nga included sila despite of the fact nga lahi-lahi sila og background or lahi-lahi sila tinuuhan, lahi-lahi sila culture. An example for this is a teacher includes examples from different cultures where teaching about land use. In ana siya, say for example, we have here in Maragusan, lahi man po tao diri og culture, right? From other municipalities or region. Diri sa Davao, ang teacher like say for example, putang nato ang mga mansaka tas other people nga napo ilahang tinuuhan. So ang teacher ba, another example ni siya ha, ang teacher ba is include nila nga kanang sanina, kung tayo sa sanina, so kani ang mga mansaka na sila ay ilahang mga sanina pod, nagawiv po sila ilahang own nga mga sinina, ilahang own nga mga designs, tapos katupong mga Tibuli, no, another tribe is nagawiv po sila mga sinina which is very famous, kinatawag na ito nga tinalak. So inana siya, anang ginabuhat sa teachers, mangita sila og paagi in where ang mga estudyante maka-feel sila nga included sila despite of their different backgrounds, different beliefs, and different traditions and cultures. So next we have the integration. So it combines geography with other subjects like science and social studies. And ana ang integration? In a simple explanation, so geography is mixed with other subjects like science or social studies to make learning more connected. Pasabot ana ang geography gayus og different subjects para mas makarelate ang mga estudyante. So an example for this is that while learning about volcanoes or science na siya about volcanoes, students also study where they are located, which is the geography, the study about sa geography. So inana siya no, kapag study ta og geography, of course, dira atong study of land as well as the relation sa mga tao, no, human environment relationship. Tapos kung para mas engaging siya is pwede ta mag-integrate, which is kato magamit tag science para mas makasabot ang mga estudyante at the same time makuha nato ang ilahang atensyon. Gamit tag other subjects para mas dali na masabtan sa mga estudyante nga atong pasabot, especially in this subject, no, kung i-combine nato ang science and also the geography. Ang science is very accurate siya nga i-combine since sa science nagatok po taog mga land formations. Moto, apil na tong vulkan. Nga no? So, very accurate rajud kayo nga i-combine sila. So, next, we have the resources. So, for the resources, use of kanang nagagamit tag mga maps or globes. Models na mga globes, na mga maps, tas technology to enhance understanding. So here in resources nagagamit ito og mga kanang gamit para mas masabtan og dali sa atong mga estudyante. Simple explanation is that teachers use tools like maps, globes, and computers to help students understand better kay of course kung wala ta mag-use ani, kung di ta mag-use og ani nga mga materials kay maglisod jud ta o papasabot sa ato ang mga estudyante no about sa ato ang lesson. So inaana na siya. So an example for this is that a student uses Google Earth to explore mountains and rivers around the world. So pwede po ta is kanang Google Map, di ba? Kung natay gina atuan, natay gusto atuan pero we are not familiar with the place, pwede kay ta magamit og Google Map para makatuod ta, no? Dili ta masaag. So mao na siya ang resources for the role of teachers in geography instruction. So next we have effective teaching methods. So we actually have 3 also, which are the inquiry-based learning, the map analysis, and then also the field work. So first we have the inquiry-based learning. So unsa bagud ni siya? So the inquiry-based learning is it encourages students to ask questions and analyze real-world problems. So in a simple explanation, ang inquiry-based learning is that in where students are encouraged to ask questions and solve real-life problems. So an example for this is that a class investigates why a nearby river is drying up and suggests ways to save it. No? So, dili sa inquiry-based learning kay ang mga estudyante gina-encourage sila nga mongtana jud og questions no? And then mag-solve sila og real-life problem. So next we have the map analysis. So here in map analysis, it develops the critical thinking through evaluating different map and data sources. So here in map analysis, students study and compare map to think more deeply. So an example for this is that they look at population maps and climate maps to see where people live and why. Kaya nga no, dili magutanan ang map nato is parehas. So we actually have different types of maps na ay maps nga ginagamit para nakitaan ang katibok ang sakop no sa ato ang earth. Tapos napoy map in where kanang naga-identify siya sa ato ang climate and also the population. So it's very important no nga ang estudyante makabalo unsaon paggamit sa mga papa kay para they were able to comprehend it accordingly for better understanding no sa connection sa ato ang climate, sa ato ang land, and also sa ato ang population. Next, we have the field work. So here in field work, hands-on experiences for practical understanding of geographical concepts. So here in field work, focuses on hands-on experiences. So basically, in simple words, diri sa field work is that nanadyo experience ani. So, an example for this is that moadto mo og kaning sakahan, sa mga sakahan. Tapos inyohang i-identify moadto mo sakahan, ma-experience ninyo, basically ma-experience jud ninyo. Kini adto man mo hands-on. Tapos ituan ninyo buhaton, i-conduct na to inyohang study. Example sa sakahan, nganong ang mga palay is kanang mas motubo siya sa mga yuta nga basa. So inana siya hands-on, moadto mo dito, maka-experience mo. Dili lang mo magsalig sa kung sa inyong nabasa, kaya kanang unsa inyohang nadunggan or inyong nakit-an. But dili sa fieldwork is na experience jud ninyo siya. Next, we have goals of geography instruction. So here in goals of geography instruction, we also have 3, which are the environmental literacy, then the critical thinking, and then also the global citizenship. So first we have the environmental literacy. So when we say environmental literacy, we are knowledgeable about environmental. In environmental literacy, where the understanding and valuing sustainable practices. A simple explanation for this is that helping students understand nature and how to protect it. Pasabot na to sa mga estudyante, no? Nga kanang unsay importansya, no? Sa ato ang nature. And then, unsaon pud siya pagprotect. So, an example for this is that learning why recycling helps reduce pollution. Tudlo na to ang mga estudyante nga ang pag-recycle, no, sa to ang mga basura is makatabang jud siya sa pag-prevent sa pollution. Kaya of course, kung magpataka lang taglabay, makadungag jud siya sa ato ang pollution, no. So, pero kung i-practice na to ang tama nga pag-segregate sa itong mga basura or kanang ginatawag na itong recycling, dito mahanay, ma-organize sa itong mga basura, and then, ma-avoid na to or ma-prevent na to ang daghan nga pollution. So next, we have the critical thinking. So for critical thinking, it is where analyzing spatial relationships and human environment interactions, teaching students to understand how people and places affect each other. So an example for this is that exploring how building a dam changes both the environment and nearby towns. So diri sa critical thinking, no, kay naga-focus ta sa human environment relationship sa mga tao as well as sa atong environment. So katong sa atong example is that katong explore nato ngano ang pag-build sa mga dam is naga-change siya sa dam changes both environment and nearby towns. Kay when we say dam manggod, kana man na siya katong nagapundo sa tubig para dili maapektuhan tong mga town sa ubos. Using dam or applying the dam, building the dam, makatabang siya sa ato ang ang mga people nga nagapuyo dito ubos. Which is kung wala ang dam is affected jud sila, maapektuhan jud sila sa tubig nga nag-agas. Kay ang dam kay mao na ang ga-prevent sa daloy sa tubig nga ay negative impact sa ato ang mga residents dito asa nagpuyo ubos sa ato ang dam. So very helpful kaayo ang dam kay dili apektado ang ato ang mga towns sa ubos or ato ang mga people nga nagpuyo dito sa ubos kay na salud sa dam ang katong tubig nga gikan dito sa ato falls. So inana mostly falls man jud na siya tapos ginabuhatan og dam para in case nga mubaha or kusog ang nay mga disaster nga panghitabo, dili kaayo affected or though affected sila pero not to the point na maka-cause jud og kaning total destruction sa ilahang mga panimalay or sa ilahang town. So inana na siya. Next, we have the global citizenship. For the global citizenship, diri na tong preparing students to act responsibly in an interconnected world. Diri sa global citizenship, kina-prepare atong mga students nga mahimong responsable. Mahimong responsible members sa atuang community. So an example for this is that learning about different cultures and how global actions like climate change affect everyone. In simple words, no, ginaila nato or kanang nag-learn ta, kita tanan no, ang mga estudyante, kanang nag-learn ta about sa mga klase-klase or various cultures no, sa nagkadaidayang mga tribo or pwede pod nasod, laman jud ta culture sa kada nasod. So, kita nag-learn ta sa differences sa various cultures sa usag-usa and then how global actions affect everyone. So, say for example, kato, like climate change. So, of course, ang primary reason man jud ngano tang na ay natay climate change is that the human activities, though there's a lot of factors man, no nga, reason nganong grabe na to ang climate change karon. Pero, as you know, ang mga tao jud is dako jud kaayog kaning contribution no sa ato ang climate change, especially the human activities. Kay once mo grabe na ang climate change, mura ra siya kanang ginatawag nato ba nga practice ta nga ilabay ang basura no sa environment patakaratag labay og basura moabot yun sa panahon nga ang environment na pod ibalik nila nga to ang mga basura. Dapat karon pa lang no kanang i-practice nato kung unsaon pag-atiman sa tong environment. I hope everyone na mo'y natun-an and that would be all. Thank you so much.